Right, this is my first ever yeast starter. 150 grams of DME, just over 1.5 litres of water in my Erlenmeyer flask. For those that don't know, the ratio is generally 100 grams per litre of water, but you need to put a bit more in to account for the boil off. So I'm going to stick that in now. So the heat is on. Going to find something to stir that with. I'll be back in a minute. Right, so we're going to bring this mother to the boil and boil it for a few minutes just to dry off any nasties. In the meantime, I've got this, my scissors and my yeast, it's all been spritzed with star sand, so it's just sat there waiting to go. Also, I just want to point out, guys, that this is specifically designed for boiling stuff in, so don't try this at home with a jam jar or something, because you might have a nasty accident. Looks like all the DME has dissolved. It's just getting ready to boil. Now apparently these can boil over really quickly as well, so I'm ready with the gas. Just it off if needs be. And if I don't, it'll be a funny outtake, so why not? Right, looks like we're nearly there. Right, just had the hot break boil over, so I've turned it off for a sec, and now we're going to slowly put the heat back on. There we go. Perfectamundo. So I guess I'll leave it for like 5-10 minutes just to dry off the worst, and then it'll be time to cool it down. Just moved it onto a different burner because the other burner was a bit too hot, and it's got a nice gentle boil now. So we'll leave it for 10 minutes and then cool that mother down. 10 minutes is up, so I'll put it in a cold water with these ice block things to chill it out to pitching temperature. Right, so we're down to pitching temp, 21 degrees. Pitching the White Labs WLP004 Irish ale yeast. Can't do it one-handed, so I'm just going to whack it in now. I'm sure you know how to cut a bit of plastic off and then pour it in the top. So we're all done in the firm fridge. I haven't got a stir bar, so we'll just have to go and stir it up every now and then. Not the end of it is time to brew. So I'm brewing Feck Arse 13, which, as you may guess, is kind of a Hop House 13 clone. This is going to be the second one of my Horde stock beers that I'm brewing. And the thing is, it's very limited details on Hop House 13, what malts are in it, etc. So I pretty much had to guess the whole thing. The hops, I kind of knew what they were, but I didn't have all of them, and I didn't want to buy a load just for doing a small amount in a lager. And Mosaic's the main one, which I've got anyway. So this is what the grain bill's comprising of. Okay, so we've got 3.8 kilos of Pilsner malt, 500 grams of Vienna, and 75 grams of chocolate, just to make it a bit darker, because Hop House 13 is quite very amber lager, so I wanted to get that right colouring. Sparge water is just coming on just as I start talking. Brilliant. Yeah, it's the sparge water is ready to go. It's just made turning temperature with the Inkbird. So the hops then. So I've got 90 minute, doing a 90-minute boil because it's Pilsner malt. So yeah, and the other thing is no chill. I'm using the Brewfather app for the first time, and there's not an option for no chill. So on Brewer's Friend, what you used to do is you just added a no chill option. It used to increase the IBUs, but it couldn't do it on this. So I'm just going to have to basically delay the timings by 15 minutes. So 75 minutes. I'm going to have 11 grams of Mosaic, 15 flame out, I'm going to be having 8 grams of Cascade, 5 grams of Mosaic, and then dry hop, I'm going to do 30 grams of Mosaic and 15 grams of Citra. Not a massive amount of hops, but it is a lager at the end of the day, and Hop House 13 is not massively overpowering. Irish moss will stick in as well. I don't know whether I'm going to do no chill or not. I don't really want to because it's a lager, but my water chiller is buggered. So if I can get the part and fix it tomorrow, I should be alright. If not, we might just have to go no chill and have to find it down later on. And yeast, of course, is White Labs Irish Ale Yeast WLP004, which is Guinness yeast because that's the yeast that they use for Hop House 13. So I'm hoping by using that, it will get a bit closer to the flavour. I've not used liquid yeast before. This is the first time ever. So that is going to be quite interesting. So I've done a yeast starter that's in the firm fridge at the moment, so I'm going to do overnight mash tonight. I'll do no chills, then I'll probably pitch it day after tomorrow, which means my starter will have been going for 3 days, so that should be absolutely perfect. Fingers crossed. Mashing it at 66 degrees. So sparge water is ready to go. I'm going to get cracking, I think. So, problem is you can't really see what I'm doing here because it's slightly too low. Okay, so the mash is all tucked up ready for bed. Sparge water is set to come on. I've got a timer. I'm going to touch up, so I'll set that to come on for about 84 degrees. Whack that through. Yeah. Oh, mash pH was 5.0. So that's actually the first time I've measured my mash pH, and it's pretty good. So I'm quite happy with that. Right, I'm going to head to bed. Good night all. Is draining now. Should probably know I batch sparge. So once that's drained, I'm going to move my boiler outside and get that starting to heat up, and then chuck the last of the sparge water in there. Okay, we've been boiling for 15 minutes, and then the first hop addition is going to go in. 11 grams of Mosaic. Go, 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 go! So the boil is done. Flame out, transferring into the no chill cube. Looking pretty awesome. Flame out addition of hops is in there, not that you can see now. Fan-dabby dozy. So we're in the fermenter. I didn't do any footage of pitching the yeast because I had to do it last night in a hurry. Slight issue. Basically, the brew came up at about, just came up to the 4 gallon mark. However much that is in litres, I'm not sure. So I topped up with distilled water to 23 litres, but then also added the starter in, and that was about 1.5 litres. So I probably got, well, it's just over 5 litres, so 5 gallons. So I've probably got about 25 litres in here. It doesn't give me a lot of headspace, so that could be interesting, but it's fairly high Krausen already. And let me, here's a light on, have a look. Fairly high Krausen already, so I might be alright. We'll see. We'll have a little spillage, but it should be okay. Right, so this is the Feck Arse 13. It's been in the fermenter now for 5 days, and it's already dropped to 1.004, which is a ridiculous 80+% attenuation when I was expecting about 70 odd. Looks like it's still bubbling away. This is this, I've done 2 readings now, one yesterday, one today, and it's the same. I'm looking to dump the yeast cake soon. So I'm going to see what it does tomorrow. If it's the same reading again, then I think we're good to whack it in the keg.
I thought liquid yeast was supposed to take longer, but to be honest, I don't think it's going to ferment now much more. So I'm also going to add the dry hops now. 30 grams of mosaic, 15 grams of citra. In they go. Boom. Alright, let's get that lid back on.
Right, it's the moment of truth then for Feck Arse 13. Came out at 5.3% in the end, which is higher than I thought. I've used Brewfather, I think it's first brew with Brewfather, and the volumes are off. Entirely sure what happened there. But also as well, I think I planned for lower efficiency and ended up smashing the efficiency as well. So there you go. It is what it is, I suppose. But to be honest, I was quite happy with 5.3 because I think the original was 5.2 anyway. So there or thereabouts. I was going to get some to compare it with, but I didn't get around to it, and I wanted to get this grain to glass video up because I've got quite a few others to put up at some point. So here's the finished article from the keg. It's been in the keg now about 3 weeks. It's still quite cloudy. I had to do no chill because my chiller broke. I might fine it up. I don't really want to fine it up though because one of my friends is coming, she's vegetarian, and I don't want to put gelatine in it. So I might just have to leave it as it is. You know, I've got another 3 months until my party in July, so hopefully it'll be a bit clearer by then. So hop aroma. Again, I'm not really comparing this to Hop House 13 because I don't know how to clone it. It just to kind of get that kind of thing. So definitely a bit of mosaic on the nose. I didn't go mad with the Citra or the Cascade because I knew that the mosaic would be the most, supposed to be the most prominent hop, and Citra can take over quite easily. But yeah, definitely a lot more hop aroma than, probably more hop aroma than the original, but not overpowering either. Colour wise, it's a bit darker. I think I would probably use less chocolate malt next time. But let's go in for the other thing as well. I don't know if I mentioned already, probably have, so apologies if I repeat myself. But this is the first lager, first all grain lager I've done, although technically it's a Kolsch because I've used Guinness yeast. Yeah, I used Guinness yeast by the way as well. The White Labs WLP004 Irish ale yeast, basically Guinness yeast. So it's the first lager Kolsch all grain I've done. For my own consumption, I did one for a beer festival, didn't turn out very well. So I've used RO water. I think I just went for complete RO water in the end because I didn't have precision scales at the time and everything was like 1/4 of a gram. So I thought I just won't bother. So it's completely blank canvas water. Anyway, enough gabbering, let's go in for the kill. Damn. It's so crisp. It's a really, really crisp lager. And really well balanced between hops and malt. Tastes a little bit of the Vienna malt in there. Definitely got a bit more body than a normal lager because I don't filter the shit out of it like most of them do. Also a bit more hop profile. It's more along the lines of something a bit like sort of the piston head kind of lagers that you get, but nicer. Absolutely made up with that. That is going to go down a treat at my beer festival. I think that keg is going to get caned. So I'm just going to have to leave that now for 3 months and not touch it, which is going to be torture. So I might even have to brew another batch. I'll have a spare keg, so I might, if I get time, stick another one on because I really bloody like that. I've saved the yeast as well, so I'll be able to reuse that. So yeah, really happy about this. It's cracking lager. I honestly think the RO water has a lot to do with it. So if you're contemplating your water treatment, taking it a bit more seriously, absolutely go for it. Where I am, the water is as hard as nails, and unless you're doing a stout, it really doesn't particularly go very well with any style other than a stout or a porter. So this is definitely the way forward for me. So cheers everyone. I hope you enjoyed. This is probably my second grain to glass, I think. I do like doing them. It's just a bit of a faff, but I found out if I edit them as I go along, rather than waiting right till the end and then putting it all together, it's a bit easier. So Should have a few more coming your way very soon. So cheers everyone, bye.